Hello, I'm Elisa from GlassAlisa, and I thought it would be great to give you a bit of an insight as to what we get up to in one of my workshops. Today I'm going to show you how to make a wave, a freestanding wave that you can put on your windowsill, and it will be lined with trees in the colours of a rainbow. So the first thing I want to show you here is the equipment I have. First of all, I have my base glass, which has been cleaned. So this is clear glass, and it's the bullseye glass that I buy and that I use. I also have 7 pieces of offcuts of different brown glass, bullseye glass that I have, and this will represent the tree trunks. And I also have here the ground glass in the different colours of the rainbow. So I've got my reds, oranges, yellows, greens, blues, quite a dark blue to represent the indigo, and the violet as well. I also have spoon and a little rubber tool to allow me to manoeuvre the ground glass, also known as frit, onto the base glass. And the glue will allow a little bit of time, it will allow a little bit of slippage, but it will definitely help me transport the piece to the kiln a bit later on. Also, under my base glass I have some kiln paper which separates the glass from the kiln shelf so it doesn't stick after firing or during firing. So first of all, we're going to start with the first tree, and I'm going to do this upside down so it's the right way for you. I'm going to put some glue onto the base glass, and you don't have to be too precise. I'm just going to zigzag a little bit of the glue on here. And then I'm going to start with, I think, a little bit of grass along the bottom of this base glass, which would be quite nice. So I'm using a frit called Spring Green, and all I need to do is just sprinkle a little bit on the base here. And I can easily manoeuvre this about whilst I'm doing it. Doesn't matter if a few bits spill, you can always put them back on. And I'm going to push this down a little bit with my rubber tool so it looks like the grass. And it's just really to represent the grass and not be too specific. There we go. So that's the spring green. And I'll just pick up the little bits afterwards and put them back in the correct pots. So the next thing I'm going to do is put the trunks down, the tree trunks. So I'm going to try and space them more or less equally. So it'll be 7 trunks for 7 trees to represent the colours of the rainbow. There we go. So we'll start with the red tree. Once I've spaced this out, and I'll probably manoeuvre it again at the end because there'll be time to do that. So I'm going to start with red transparent glass, which is beautiful once it's fired. It gives this beautiful deep colour, red colour. Okay, so just get some pinch, or you could use a spoon if that's a bit easier. So the glue is sticking to my fingers at the moment. There we go. We'll just cover the top of the trunk a bit. It's just to give an idea of the colour here. It looks quite orange at the moment, but once fired it will turn a lovely red. There we are, there's the first tree. And I believe the second colour in the rainbow is orange. So I have some burnt orange here, beautiful colour, burnt orange, and I might even mix some bright orange in just to give a little bit of dimension. So here we go, with my spoon. There we go, I'm going to cover the base a little bit. And it's really good, the glue will allow you just to move the glass around to whatever form you want it to be. So I'm now going to use some little bit of bright orange, which is a little bit finer than the other orange, but it will give a little bit of dimension. I'm just going to sprinkle this on just to brighten this up. There we go. And then we can use the tool just to create a more of a tree-like form or structure. And I'm going to carry on now and put the other colours on, and I'll get back to you when it's done. So here we are with the completed piece, ready to go in the kiln. I will clear off the little bits of glass around it before I put it in the kiln, and it's going to go in for the first kiln firing at quite a low heat setting, because I want it to retain the dimension of the trees and make it really tactile. It will then go in a second time, and this will then be put on a mould to give it the shape of a wave so that it can be freestanding. So I have placed my very colourful glass trees in the kiln, and it's going to be in the kiln for a good 12 hours and heated up slowly. It will get to a temperature of about 745 degrees, and this will allow the ground glass, the frit, to adhere to the base glass but still retain dimension. And once this is fired and when it's ready, I will show you what it looks like. So the kiln program has now finished. I'm going to open up and see what we have inside. It's now been fired, and you will see that it's retained its tactility and its dimension. After the first kiln firing, you will see that the base glass is still flat. So in order to create our final shape, which is a curve, I have a mould here on which I've placed the glass, and after another firing at even lower temperature, it will slump into this mould and create this lovely curve effect, so that you will be able to display it freestanding on a windowsill in the light, where it will look quite beautiful. And here, straight from the kiln, is the tree-lined rainbow curve, freestanding, allowing the light through, and it has retained its dimension as well, so it's very tactile.